Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Beatles Forever. Today, we're going to rediscover Paul McCartney and Wings' most memorable live album, Wings Over America. Since this album has quite a bit of songs on it, I decided to do 2 videos of it. My sister was into Paul McCartney before I was, and she had this album, and I was always playing it, and I love the album cover and all the great songs included on the album. And I knew there was no way I would be able to go to any concert they had, so this was the next best thing. And this album reached number 8 on the UK album charts and number 1 on the US Billboard Top LPs and tape chart. First, the album cover. According to the Beatles Bible, Wings Over America was released as a triple album, and Richard Evans designed the graphics with leading by Jeff Halpin. The front cover image, painted by Richard Manning, was intended to represent the group's arrival in America, with light emerging from the opening hatch. And the theme continued over the next 3 inner sleeves. It's a cool cover, and it made me want to pick the album up and look at it. Now we have the songs. The album was released December the 10th, 1976, and Paul said the album had to be a triple album because they were doing 2-hour shows, and there was no other way to get 2 hours of music on the record. The songs for the album were chosen for the tour that they were doing in North America during May to June 1976. Paul McCartney's sound engineer listened to 800 hours of tape and selected the 5 best performances of each song for the 30-song set list. So he really had to do some listening. The album begins with the crowd cheering, and you feel like you're right there in the middle of it all. So the first song that comes up is a mashup of Venus and Mars, Rock Show, Jet. And what a way to begin the album. You have 3 great songs combined to begin the show. Venus and Mars sets the mood with the anticipation of a concert getting ready to begin. Then Paul and the gang really start rocking with Rock Show, and you could tell that Paul's voice was really getting a little bit worn out because it sounds raspy here, but it adds to the rock and roll vibe. So Paul had a great band backing him up. Denny Laine played electric guitar, acoustic guitar, bass, whenever Paul was playing piano, of course. Percussion. Jimmy McCulloch played electric and acoustic guitars, bass, and the backing vocals. And Linda McCartney played piano, keyboards, percussion, and backing vocals. And Joe English did drums, percussion, backing vocals. And then they had the horn players, Tony Dorsey, trombone, percussion, Howie Casey, saxophone, percussion, Steve Howard, trumpet, flugelhorn, percussion, Thaddeus Richard, saxophone, clarinet, Western concert flute, and percussion. The next song up is Let Me Roll It. Paul continues to really rock with this song. And according to Wikipedia, some critics, such as the Rolling Stones' John Landau, saw the song as a pastiche of John Lennon's sound, particularly the riff and the use of the tape echo in the vocals. McCartney, however, didn't intend the song to be a pastiche of Lennon. He did say the vocal does sound like John. I hadn't realized that I had sung it like him. The song's title was inspired by a quote from George Harrison's I'd Have You Anytime, the opening track for his critically acclaimed All Things Must Pass. According to the ultimate classic rock contributor Nick DeRizzo, Lennon incorporated the riff from Let Me Roll It into his 1974 song Beef Jerky, and DeRizzo claimed it was Wings' 7th greatest song. The live version has Paul really giving it his all on the vocals and the steady bass playing, and Jimmy McCulloch provides some great guitar riffs. The next song, Spirits of Ancient Egypt, and this song sounds like something you would hear around Halloween, especially how it starts at the beginning. Denny Laine takes the vocals over in this song, which was written by Paul McCartney, and interestingly enough, Linda McCartney too. So the song shows how Paul had an interest in Egypt back then. That was even before his Egypt Station album came out, so it was cool to find that out. And Linda contributed to a lot of the sound effects for the song. And it's a different sounding song, and the more I hear it, the more I like it. Now we have Jimmy McCulloch singing Medicine Jar. This song was written by Paul McCartney, and according to Songfacts, this is an anti-drug song with the medicine jar representing pills, particularly barbiturates, the blues, and the reds that many musicians of the era took, often with deadly consequences. Jimmy plays a mean guitar, and Paul is his equal with the really lively bass playing, matching Jimmy's playing. I bet it would have been cool to see them perform this song. Then we have Maybe I'm Amazed. This song first appeared on the album McCartney, and Paul wrote this song for Linda. He wrote it right before the breakup of the Beatles, and he said it was Linda that got him through the difficult times that occurred because of the tensions in the band. In this live version, Paul sings with great feeling, and Jimmy is playing an emotional lead electric guitar, and Paul is playing a beautiful piano. And this song sounds great live. Now we have Call Me Back Again. This song was originally done on the Venus and Mars album, and Paul wrote the song mainly in a hotel in Beverly Hills, California, and the rest of the song he wrote in New Orleans. The song has that bluesy sound of New Orleans, and Paul gets down on this song sounding very soulful. The song is about a girlfriend that used to call him and bring him joy, but now he's sad that she stopped calling. And Wikipedia had a few theories about the song's meaning, which is interesting. One is from the ultimate classic rock contributor, Nick DeRizzo, who said that the lyrics were directed at McCartney's former bandmate, John Lennon. And AllMusic critic Donald A. Garisco compares the lyrics into the classic singles by such soul singers as Wilson Pickett and Otis Redding. And music professor Vincent Benitez has postulated a possible alternative interpretation. And Benitez notes that in the documentary Wingspan, An Intimate Portrait, and disperses a live performance of Call Me Back Again with McCartney's explanation of a short poem that he had written at the time of his feelings about the possibility of a Beatles reunion. So in the poem, the two lines say, the Beatles split up in '69, and since then, they've been doing fine. Benitez takes this as evidence that the lyrics of Call Me Back Again may have included a message that the Beatles were not interested in reuniting. And Paul does some strong vocals in this song, sounding soulful and bluesy, and Linda's doing a great job with her background vocals. Now we have Lady Madonna. Paul at first didn't want to include Beatles songs in his concerts when he started Wings, but he finally decided to in the Wings Over America tour, and I'm glad he finally decided to. Here we have a fast-moving and grooving song, and everybody's playing in fine form, and I love the piano that dominates the song. The crowd seemed to enjoy it too. Next up, another Beatles song, The Long and Winding Road. This song he wrote in 1968. He was inspired by a road on his property, the High Park Farm, near Campbelltown in Scotland. Wikipedia states, based on other comments McCartney has made, author Howard Soanes writes, the lyrics can be seen as McCartney expressing his anguish at the direction of his personal life, as well as a nostalgic look back at the Beatles' history. McCartney recalled, I just sat down at my piano in Scotland and started playing, and I came up with that song, imagining it was going to be done by someone like Ray Charles. I've always found inspiration in the calm beauty of Scotland, and again, it proved the place where I found inspiration. So the song's done perfectly in concert. Paul is playing a great piano, and the horn arrangements are wonderful. Paul puts a lot of feeling in his vocal. Live and Let Die. The producers of the James Bond movie Live and Let Die contacted Paul and asked him to write a song for the movie, and Live and Let Die was born. And this is a rollicking song, and it's amazing how good the song sounds live. You have the piano, drums, and the horn instruments, but it sounds more like more people are playing than just the band. So it's a great job. Picasso's Last Words. This song appeared first on the Band on the Run album, and it was a song that was created on the spot. McCartney said he was on vacation in Montego Bay, Jamaica, where he snuck onto the set of the Papillon film, and he met Dustin Hoffman and Steve McQueen. After dinner with Hoffman, with McCartney playing around on the guitar, Hoffman did not believe that McCartney could write a song about anything. So Hoffman pulled out a magazine where they saw the story of the death of Pablo Picasso and his famous last words, drink to me, drink to my health, you know I can't drink anymore. McCartney created a demo of the song and lyrics on the spot, prompting Hoffman to explain to his wife, look, he's doing it. And this song in the middle sounds like Paul and his band are in France. It's done very well live. Next song, Richard Cory. I knew this as a poem by Edwin Arlington Robinson, but Paul Simon wrote a song regarding it. It's interesting that Paul McCartney chose this song to do live in concert. It's a folk-sounding song, and Denny Lane does the lead vocals, and they did a good job with it. Bluebird, this song was originally done for the album Band on the Run. Paul wrote the song while he was on vacation in Jamaica. Paul sings with ease and this song just glides along. I love the guitar playing in the song and the harmonizing vocals. Wow, they really played it well in this live performance. Next is a Beatle song, I've Just Seen a Face. I love how this song just moves along with the guitar. Paul sings it with great feeling, and it sounds even better live than it did on the Help album, although I love the album version of that too. Blackbird. Paul keeps the Beatles tunes going with this great song, originally done on the White Album, the Beatle album. Paul plays an acoustic version of the song, and his playing is really impressive. Paul is singing it well, and it's amazing how great the song sounds live on the concert tour. And the crowd is so quiet you could hear a pin drop. Paul had their attention. It's a great performance. Yesterday. This is the final song we'll do for now for part one. Paul had to include this song, and it's a song where the melody came to Paul while he was sleeping. And then he had to keep working on the lyrics, and he finally came up with it. Wikipedia states shortly before his death in 1980, Lennon commented that although the lyrics don't resolve into any sense, they're good lines. They certainly work. But if you read the whole song, it doesn't say anything. And added the song was beautiful, and I never wished I'd written it. So Lennon made references to Yesterday in his song, How Do You Sleep? And in the 1971 album, Imagine. The song appears to attack McCartney with the line, the only thing you done was yesterday. But since you've gone, you're just another day, in reference to McCartney's recent hit, Another Day. Paul sings and plays it well in this version he performed in concert. The concert must have been incredible to be a part of, and I hope you enjoyed part one of the Wings Over America video. If you did, if you could give it a thumbs up, that would be great. And thank you for all those who have subscribed, and for those who haven't, if you could, that would be good too. And I wish everybody a great day, and tune in again soon for another episode of The Beatles Forever. Thank you. Bye.